I do think Glasspool Mimic also feels like just being that extra creature feels like it's a big deal to do. I'm gonna keep this, of course. Probably playing Mimic on turn 1. I feel like Mimic kind of ties the whole deck together. Take my God-Pharaoh's Gift opponent. They're probably going to take Mimic or Refurbish here. I would anticipate the Refurbish. They took the Mimic. Fair enough. And we drew another Refurbish, so good good job anticipating that opponent. Which of my brews do I think is the best Shark Typhoon deck? Probably the Jeskai one right now. Right, I'm going to play Champion of Wits. Awesome. Was really worried that this wouldn't resolve. And I'll discard God-Pharaoh's Gift and Dream Trawler. We didn't find a 4th land. Our 4th land was taken from us too soon by Thoughtseize. Maybe I was supposed to play this as a black source so I could cast Unburial Rites. Because I don't need triple white. That probably would have been correct. Ooh, that's Sultai. Okay. Sultai doesn't play a ton of counter spells, so if we can rip a land, I'm feeling pretty good. Yep, just gotta rip a land. Hell yeah. Easy. And then now we also have Glasspool Mimic in the graveyard to get a second Dream Trawler next turn. And Dream Trawler is also real good with all like the spells we play except for strategic planning. I'm also not sure if this Thirst for Knowledge is good, but I think it's okay. So I'm assuming that they're going to play Extinction Event to get rid of my Dream Trawler. That's the only way they can do so. Do I want to discard the Meteor Golem? I think we have enough discard in our hand that we don't want to use the Dream Trawler to discard. That's another... The Dream Trawler also is a discard outlet. I think Dream Trawler is just great in the deck. Playing 4. Discarded Meteor Golem, and I guess we'll just hold up Chart a Course. Yeah, I'm only playing 1 Thirst, but I think it's pretty good in the deck. It's possible I end up playing more. Okay, so we can kill the Nissa next turn with Meteor Golem. Either a Glasspool Mimic on Meteor Golem, or if we're afraid of like a... What's that card? Just a removal spell, but specifically the... kill a creature with no counters on it card. We could just get back the actual Meteor Golem. We could also, however, refurbish the other medium. Okay, so they kill my God-Pharaoh's Gift, so our turn is just pretty easy. We could get greedy and look for a land off of Chart a Course, but it seems very unnecessary to me. Good showing. Not that it needs it, but does this deck have a good plan B? I mean, we've got a bunch of Skyclave Apparitions and Champion of Wits, and we have Unburial Rites. One thing I like about this deck is you play 4 Skyclave Apparition, which can deal with Rest in Peace or Cage or Ooze or just like most graveyard hate. That's one thing I really like about it. But I don't think this deck has a great plan B, at least game 1, but maybe we can figure out one to play in sideboard games. I'm going to bring in the Narsets. Probably want to go down on Rites because I anticipate, graveyard hates. The sideboard is definitely a work in progress. Like, I really did just slap it together because I haven't played this deck yet. Could see going down on Skyclave, maybe not. Bring in Narset, maybe Trim Thirst. Gust is okay. Dispute is okay. Play some disputes. Jumpstart is an historic, but not every Jumpstart card. Yeah, you can also just hardcast Dream Trawler. I thought about playing Mind Stone to like make that more of a plan, but Mind Stone's like a bit weird on the curve. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Yeah, we could play our own Cage, although Cage is bad with rights, but maybe that the plan is just cut the rights for the cages. I think that could be something that you do. I have thought about playing Cage in the sideboard. I'm kind of playing Meddling Mage instead, and I also think Meddling Mage is like maybe main deckable in this deck because the PT is open deck list. Though I'm not entirely sure what my list would look like if I main deck the Mage, or if that's something I'd want to do. Guess I'm going to discard or put back the second Trawler. Regarding removal and mimic, the ability of God-Pharaoh's Gift doesn't target. Oh, awesome. Okay, good to know. Alright. Card to put back the card the deck is named after. Yeah, this is the Esper gift deck from the Stream Decker. But we're going to be jumping back and forth between a few of my different like historic ideas today. I think we discard. We can just discard Rights plus Dream Trawler. I think that's what we want to do. Dream Trawler is great in this matchup, and they like just kind of have to answer this. And this is pretty good, of course. But they untapped Overgrown Tomb, so it's kind of unlikely they can answer this. Yeah, the Rights is in my graveyard, so our hand is pretty resilient to Thoughtseize too. Okay, I'm sold on Rights. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Like, we might even want a fourth. I guess I'll play this as a black source. And now this is also a discard outlet for the God-Pharaoh's Gift if we want it. It's a lot of mana. Big ol' Hydroid Krasis. We do have an answer to it in the form of Skyclave Apparition here. Would much rather Skyclave Apparition that, though. They haven't activated their Nissa yet, so they're going to be able to leave up Ooze activation. 2 Ooze activations. Nice. Yeah, we need to kill this Nissa. We also we had the strategic planning to draw a white source, so I don't feel like it was that lucky. It was a little lucky. And we can look for a Glasspool Mimic or another Skyclave to deal with the Ooze. Maybe just take Meteor Golem. I don't think Narset's very good here. I'm just gonna take a Golem. Yeah, I'm not sure that Meteor Golem is like the card we want to be on, but I'm trying it out. You know, we're testing it. But it's another good target for Refurbish. When you're playing 4 Glasspool Mimic, I could definitely see some games where you just go Refurbish a Golem, Glasspool Mimic, Glasspool Mimic. It's pretty good to get back with God-Pharaoh's Gift. It's like a fine Unburial Rites target. I'm certainly not like saying it's like the card we need to be on, but I've seen Meteor Golem constructed a few times. I've actually won a PT with Meteor Golem in my deck before, very recently, in fact. Able to update Stream Decker? It should be up to date. Although I'm not sure that I'm gonna be playing a lot of different decks. I may just be bouncing around a bunch. Pioneer. Did not win a PTQ. Did I say PT? A PTQ. So I guess they're taking my Champion of Wits. Although, have they tapped out of green? They tapped out of green. Although everything in our hand costs 7 if they take the Wits, because it's 7 to Eternalize. We also don't get our card draw off of the Dream Trawler. Well, or after the attack trigger. We do get to kill Narset. We get to gain some life. I have no idea what you're alluding to. No idea what you're alluding to, Ecstasy. They flip their Escanta. They can escape Uro. They've got Escanta. They've got a lot going on. Dude, second Narset was such a gnarly card, too. Although we can maybe just Meteor Golem it if we really want to draw our card. Another Nissa. Well, how many creatures in graveyards are there? We have 1 in ours, and then they have an Uro. So if we double block, they have to exile their own Uro with Ooze. I think that's worth it. And they might champion. And they might just take this trade. They either take the trade or they exile their own Uro. So they take the trade. And now we can end of turn discard Meteor Golem to Dream Trawler and cast God-Pharaoh's Gift if we want. Opponent has a Nissa in the hand, a mystery card, and an Uro to escape. They start off by escaping Uro, so it's possible they have a counterspell up here. Because I think they could have gotten Nissa into Uro here. Oh, I guess they just have the 1 mana, so end of turn, let's go ahead and discard the Meteor Golem. Draw a card, trigger the Trawler. Play a White Source, God-Pharaoh's Gift. I guess I want to Skyclave Uro here. And just attack Narset. And then I will leave the 4/4 back to block their creatures. It's been a cool matchup so far. Nice Thoughtseize. Dream Trawler's just been so good. The 4/4s also line up pretty nicely, of course, against the 3/3s. We get to kill the Nissa next turn by bringing back the Champion of Wits with the God-Pharaoh's Gift, and probably can find something else to do. Wait, is their last card Hydroid Crisis? Or they're activating Escanta, okay. Fair enough. They get a Growth Spiral, which they can cast off of the Triome. Alright, we draw a card. Oh, wow. Pretty good. Fair enough. It's fine. Didn't need that anyways. Yeah, I think we just get back Champion of Wits. Draw 4, discard 2. Guess we discard Dream Trawler, Pathway. Attack Nissa, and I'll attack them with one of my 4/4s. I guess never mind. I don't want to trade a 4/4 3/3. We can double Refurbish next turn. Leyline of the Void. Fair enough. We can Meteor Golem that. Draw a card. Dispute's maybe good here. Yeah, we can dispute the Growth Spiral. My opponent conceding? Probably not, right? Spike, is it okay if you take this list out for a spin? Yeah, of course. I know I was being like a little cagey before, and I was like thinking about keeping my, PT testing kind of on the down low, but I've just kind of decided, fuck it. That looked pretty good there. When I get high enough, I'm going to change the stream title to something like top 500 Mythic stream. Maybe. I feel like we'll get all the like arena normies in here. Just maybe going to be good for the channel. Noxious Gearhulk is interesting. We have a very light black splash, so like we're almost never going to hard cast Gearhulk, I think. Which is, something to think about. Take a Charter Course. Really nice to just incidentally mill over Unburial Rites. Then we can write Dream Trawler on turn 4 here. Could run a 1 of Cataclysmic Gearhulk. I don't know. I think Gearhulk's a bit awkward in the deck. It's maybe fine. Well, I suppose we want to discard the gift instead. Well, we don't actually have a creature in the yard. I'll discard the Trawler. I'll bottom the second Trawler. Kind of close. A bit late on that Clothis. Deck's looking really good so far. If Torrential Gearhulk could flashback Refurbish or even Rites, I would probably play it. But sadly, there are some dreams that cannot be, and there are some storms we cannot weather. So I'm just going to discard my Golem and my... Ooh, maybe I don't discard the Golem, since they would eat it with Clothis. Thanks, Stovetop. Yeah, Dream Trawler is so good in this deck. Yeah, their land's not untapping. I agree, it's game over. I'm going to chart a course. Discard Champion of Wits, I guess. And then we can Skyclave the Clothis. Assuming they don't just... Actually, they're just dead here. Never mind. They're very dead here. Yeah, Dream Trawler is just the nuts in this deck. I think you should just play 4 and not play the dumb Angel. Not that the Angel is bad. It's just like, you know, Dream Trawler is so much better. I mean, maybe we end up playing the Angel instead of Meteor Golem, but Golem's been pretty good so far. Just like another good refurbish target. Works with both rights and refurbish is cool, and it's good to Glasspool Mimic. Do we even sideboard? Probably do. Probably bring like 2 Gust. Still don't know how to sideboard with this deck. Trim a couple of card draw spells, maybe. Maybe I'll trim a Meteor Golem and leave in the 4 plantings. Yeah, Angel of Invention. That card's fine, but I think people are just playing it because that's like the card you played with this deck in Standard. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just like Dream Trawler seems so much better. What is Harmonious Archon? Or I actually don't know what Harmonious Archon or Scholar of the Lost Trove are, so maybe I was the boomer all along. I don't know. Cage does not stop gifts. Does stop Unburial Rites. So we also have Skyclave for rights. Never mind. Angel Invention is some spicy tech at chest. Take it all back. Yeah, it doesn't stop refurbish. Well, it stops refurbish on Golem. But I think I'm just going to go for refurbish next turn. Yeah, it does stop rights. Stops rights, stops refurbish on Golem. It's fine. And honestly, like maybe like incentivizing our opponent to bring in Cage is a good plan, because Cage is just so medium against us. Got Skyclave Apparition. We can ignore it a lot of the time. And people are going to be playing Cages. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. See if they have like a... Kolaghan's Command isn't legal, right? You have like Assassin's Trophy. I do play 2 basics for Trophy. They have Wilts. Fair enough. Don't you want to play around Artifact Destruction, destroy Cage first? Maybe. So I've said this a few times, but when I'm testing, I do just kind of like to run head first into everything, and just like learn kind of the hard way, like what I need to be playing around, if that makes sense. I guess we get because now that we drew the rights, I'll get the Cage off the field. The next turn we can rights the we have a black source here. We can rights the Golem. Yeah, but I just kind of like to run head first into everything and like make my opponent show me why I shouldn't be, what I should play around exactly. So we block here, we can rights the Golem if we want to. Saving 4 life is also not nothing. Gotta keep this. Can't really mulligan a hand with lands, God-Pharaoh's Gift, and Refurbish. Chromatic Sphere is interesting. I don't think I've seen a Chromatic Sphere deck yet. We didn't find a white source or a... Maybe I was supposed to take the black source. I was looking for a looting effect or a white source. I didn't find either. It's pretty bad. Now our hand does nothing. So, okay, there's a white source. But we don't have anything in the yard yet. Guess we'll just play the Mimic tapped this turn. Probably some Cathis Breach combo. That would be cool. What am I gonna try to control? I've played a little bit off stream. I honestly just don't think control is very good. If I'm being honest with you, I think control and historic, not very good. Like the counter spells are just all not very strong. Guardian Idol is weird if this is a Kathas deck. I wanted to top plus self-mill. Yes, I did. That's actually a cool play. Forgot about the Ipnu Rivulet, and I guess I will just Rivulet myself. I milled over 2 Skyclave Apparition. So we could have you know, gotten back God-Pharaoh's Gift here if I had been as smart as chat. We can ride Skyclave next turn. It's not very good, but it's a play we can make. My opponent's deck also looks, you know, maybe they're stumbling too, but their deck does not look very smooth. I kind of want to get rid of the Mox Amber. Man, our draw, this has been definitely the worst draw we've had with this deck so far. Maybe we should just get a Guardian Idol. We do get to bring in Cage. There's a chance we wanted to not play a land there and discard Gift to hand size. Maybe. I've not played the Mono Black God-Pharaoh's Gift deck, but I have looked at it and I feel like I didn't like how it looked. I thought it looked pretty bad. Just like the Gate to the Afterlife is a bad card. Gate to the Afterlife sucks. Got a Mystic Forge. Okay. 2 Ornithopters. Hardcast this. Draw White Source. Oh, did they play their land before? Oh, you can't. Yeah, I thought you could play lands off Mystic Forge. You can't. Okay, I'm just gonna concede. This is what an embarrassing game. I know that we're not dead to win the game, but let's just like actually play a match. So I'm gonna cut the rights for Cages, which I think is a good plan. Narset's good too. Veto seems okay. Cutting the Thirst for Knowledge a lot. Let's sideboard like this. I think maybe the vetoes are over sideboarding. I mean, I'm really not sure exactly like what their deck is doing, but I think that they are like an Underworld Breach Kathas deck. If they're playing, yeah. So I think Cage is going to be good. Let me keep this. This hand's good. Turn 1 Emery in Historic. It's pretty nuts. Another card that Cage shuts off. They didn't hit anything that they can Emery immediately. They can Emery that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So we could maybe go strategic planning looking for Grafdigger's Cage. And then, yeah, I think that this is what I want to do. Shit. I was hoping we'd also mill over a creature. Maybe I shouldn't have banked on that. And just you know, did the more obvious play of discarding Dream Trawler. Although we can still maybe find Champion, you know, Cage next turn off of Champion of Wits. Yeah, maybe their deck is a paradoxical outcome deck. Champion. Love to find a cage. We have 3 in the deck. Did not find one. Let me discard Glasspool, Mimic, Dream Trawler. Play Fountain. And I might copy. We'll just see what happens. Yeah, I'll just copy the. I'll just get a Trawler. I think getting back Glasspool Mimic to copy Champion to look for a cage is just a bit too. Just a bit too bad if we miss on the cage again. We can draw a ton of cards next turn by copying the Trawler too. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Narset maybe does block their combo, but also maybe like we just want to see what their combo is. Okay, that's infinite mana. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we were dead there too, even with the Narset, unless we found Cage off of Narset. This hand has Refurbish and God-Pharaoh's Gift. I actually think you can't mulligan a hand that has both of these, and we have a Temple to maybe scry for a looter. Yeah, it's a good draw. Maybe we should be playing more Temples. Temples have been pretty good. Ooh, it's Rogues. Rogues are kind of funny. This matchup's kind of funny because we have like 4 Unburial Rites in our deck to like mill over. Mill over a God-Pharaoh's Gift and a Rivulet. Oh, maybe I was supposed to reveal the gift. No, we already have one in our graveyard. I think we could like theoretically hardcast this. Wait, what? How many cards am I supposed to reveal? Why does it make me click submit 1 instead of just like so weird. There's a Rites. Let me take the Skyclave Apparition. Skyclave is also just so good in the deck. I'm also scrying, like, yeah, like with the knowledge that whatever we put on top is going to get milled, and this is a card I want to get milled. Do I like Historic as a format? Yeah, I think, I mean, so one thing is like I haven't played it maybe enough Historic to like say whether or not the format is good necessarily, but I at least like it. I'm having a fun time. I don't know if I would continue to like it after just a million matches. Alright, so let's get this drowned instead of anything else. Okay. Just immediately resolved. Which is fine. Nothing cast this turn. Weird. Maybe I'm supposed to play around into the story by just jamming. The submit thing is used to not exist is to prevent misclicks. I guess that's fair. But why did it let me click more cards than I was supposed to discard? They did have Into the Story. Hoping to fade a Thoughtseize, I guess. They did find one. I mean, we can write Dream Trawler now. Yeah, the Unburial Rites have seemed very good so far to me. Go play Rivulet. How does Rogues beat a Dream Trawler? I think that if I had to pick a deck to play the PT right now, I'd probably pick this. But I think I'm gonna keep hammering out the list. But I like a lot of the ideas I have here. I've also been thinking about playing main deck Meddling Mage because the PT is open deck list. But I'm like not sure if that's something I want to do. I guess we already have a Gifts in the graveyard. I'll discard the land. We're pretty likely to hit lands because we're drawing 2 cards a turn anyways. Ooh, can Glasspool mimic our Dream Trawler? Guess I'll attack with both. Yeah, Glasspool Mimic is great in this deck. So good. Maybe we should be playing 4 Rites. Rites has been really good too. How many cards do we have in our library? It's still 30. Yeah, both Dream Trawlers are lethal next turn, so they should just be dead here. Eternalize, you can exile it, they make a token copy. It's like like kind of like escape but balanced. And then, but it also always internalizes as a 4/4 creature, and so Champion of the Wits comes back as a 4/4. Then you draw 2, discard. I draw 4, discard 2, which is kind of good. I kind of want to play both Disputes and Wraths here. Timely is kind of enticing too, but they've got a decent amount of flyers. I'm gonna go down on Meteor Golem. Play 2 Disputes, 2 Wraths. Do I keep a second Refurbish as Thoughtseize Insulation? I don't think that I do. I don't think I do. I think we could. But I just don't think we have that luxury. Obviously, we'd love to have it, but that's, you know, that's the London Mulligan. So good. So good. Ah! Well, we do have, you know, 4 Skyclave Apparition to deal with Cage, which is one thing I like about this deck, is that people will probably bring in Cage if you play the Rites, but it's not even that good against you because it doesn't beat your Refurbish on God-Pharaoh's Gift, which is your plan A, and then you have lots of answers to it anyways. That's my thought process, at least. I think I'll discard the Golem and a Fountain. Nighthawk Scavenger is pretty scary. Can maybe, I guess we can't refurbish the Meteor Golem or Rites it next turn. We can Glasspool Mimic Champion, I suppose. Mill over just 2 lands, and then the Champion of Wits. It'd be just so good for us if they would mill over a God-Pharaoh statue. Ooh. It does look like they're holding up some counter spells here, so I'm actually gonna go Murkwater Pathway into. Oh, why is it tapping like this? Oh, because that's my only painless blue source. Well, let's tap like this. Take like 5 more, then we can maybe Wrath with the speed up next turn. Or we could just, you know, find God-Pharaoh's Gift, of course. It's possible that we're not supposed to fight over this, but they only have 1 card left, so I think it's fine. It also, you know, blocks the second Thieves Guild Enforcer if they want to attack with both. I think we're just discarding the lands. Would like to have a land here. Do I think the economy of this game is ever going to be fixed? I mean, sadly, it's like just not that common for companies to start charging less money on a product when their current product is making them money. So, I hope so, but I doubt it. Look at all the cards in our yard without a God-Pharaoh's Gift. Ooh. Now I guess we have to Skyclave that. And not the cage like I would have wanted to. No attack first? Nah, wasted time. I mean, they probably don't block. Just too lazy there at 31. Doesn't matter a ton. Kind of weird for them to do that immediately, but I guess we are just dead now. We double check. We didn't find a... Yeah, there's not one in there. Okay. Close game. Do I use a separate OBS setup for Arena versus MTGO? Yes. If so, would I be able to move chat to the left side of the screen? It covers up the stack. Yeah, I just like... No matter where I put it, I have someone complaining about where it's set up, honestly. I feel like chat on the left side of my camera on this side is a bit weird. I might just like turn off the chat box. That could be better. I keep this. Probably play a Mimic on turn 1. Where does Nassif put it? I'm certainly open to, you know, feedback, but I just don't know what's best. Put it over a Johnny. Guess that's okay. Oh, they countered this? Jeez. I mean, if we just find a Refurbish, though, we're in good shape. It's not a Refurbish, but it does, you know, Skyclave is good here. Oh, there we go. There we go. We might play Skyclave next turn if the opponent is like leaving up counter magic. And then we can play Glasspool Mimic and maybe have Dispute up to protect Refurbish for next turn. I think this is good. So if my opponent counters here, do I dispute? Okay, they did not, so not a decision we have to make. I'll play my land. Although keeping the Mimic in play to copy the Apparition to kill Cage is maybe a consideration. Yeah, I think they're Flash Rogues. Wouldn't have been able to block. This is fine. I'm not going to dispute. Left middle is best. Can't see life total. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Just really no good spot. Dispute is actually not that likely to counter whatever they have here. But I guess sometimes they have nothing. They could have another Petty Theft, maybe. Yeah, damn it. Down to 10. I think I'm gonna try to course first. Hopefully we hit a land and we can dispute the borrower. I guess I'm discarding the rights. We can actually just hardcast the God-Pharaoh's Gift if we draw a land, and then we'll have black mana in play currently, and we can Skyclave the Cage. I think This is good. And then now this is a 3/2. So I think I'll attack with the Skyclave. I'm not very likely to block with the one with the 3/3 token. Yeah, Cage doesn't matter if we get Gift in play, but like we only can get Gift in play next turn if we draw a land. So I think it's good to hedge our bets a bit by getting rid of the Cage over the Borrower. Into the Story is very good there. Well, here we go. There we go. Awesome. I think I just probably want to draw 2 here. So I'm going to attack with the Champ. No, I'll attack with the Skyclave. Nice. Okay. It seems so hard for rogues to beat Dream Trawler. Although double Into the Story is incredibly powerful. What do we have in our graveyard to get back with God-Pharaoh's Gift? Just a Skyclave? Skyclave is not too bad. I do think that this is the best Skyclave Apparition deck in the format. Or at least it was the best one I could find. Not that they're main phasing this. They can mill over, yeah, Champion or something. There's not like a stubborn denial in the format, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna get Champion because it grows. We just gain so much life with Trawler if we get Champion of Wits here. Discard another Trawler, I guess, and just like a land. There's Spell Pierce, but we could only pay 1. We could only pay 1. Couldn't pay 2. This deck has seemed really good so far. Mulligan. Can't mulligan this hand. I'm going to keep, of course. And I think I'm going to put back the Dream Trawler and keep the second Chart of Course. Put back this. It beats Auras. Does Auras have no outs to Platinum Angel? Because I think that you guys are right. I just want to, like, let's think about it. The problem with Platinum Angel is a lot of decks will have disenchants against you post side. Black-White Auras used to have multiple Myers Grasps. Guess we'll just like go to MTG Goldfish. Honestly, if Platinum Angel beats Auras, I think that's like a huge for the deck and like is maybe gonna make me play this deck at the PT. Because that was something I was worried about, was the Auras matchup. Guess we just take a Temple. Just milling over rights with strategic planning has been so good so far. Oh, sorry. So Auras has no outs. There's just the first MTG Goldfish list here has no outs to Platinum Angel that I see. And then let's look at White-Black. White-Black does play Myers Grasp, but they need 2 to kill it. Yeah, it seems probably just nuts. Alright, let's see if our opponent has a counterspell. Censor would feel really bad here. Okay. Assassin's Trophy would also be really bad. Okay. Yeah, Meteor Golem's felt really good so far. I think I'm like pro Meteor Golem. Am I going to attack or do I want to leave this back to block the 3/3? I probably will attack. think we're the beatdown here. Yeah, just like the MTG Gold deck lists have no outs to Platinum Angel. Seems like very good. MTG Goldfish is just user submitted list. That's a good point. We'll look closer, but I think I'm gonna try it out. It's also like the PT is open deck list, so I do get to see if so. I guess it's a problem because they get to see my Platinum Angels, but I also get to see if they can answer Platinum Angel, which is kind of interesting. It's probably good enough to bring in. Yeah, I also really think Meteor Golem should be able to hit lands. I think it's a bit of a flavor fail. Let's see if we can find a Dream Trawler. Yeah, I think it's still good even if they only have one or two answers, but it is much worse because, or I guess I should say it's much worse against specifically the blue version because they just have so many they have so many card advantage effects in the blue version, as well as the black version too, I suppose. But just they just have like all these like curiosity effects so that they can dig real deep. Yeah, both decks dig real deep. So if you're just kind of like letting them do their thing and hoping Platinum Angel wins you the game, it does feel risky because they have so much card advantage. And I also think that it seems like I have a good Sultai matchup. I haven't lost to Sultai yet with this deck, or like the Sultai splashing. And that's a really good sign because I think Sultai is going to be super popular at the PT. It's just like the exact kind of deck that people at PTs tend to gravitate towards. Alright, so just go to combat, get our Dream Trawler. We can Thirst for Knowledge in combat if we want to pump the Trawler. Well, I think I probably would rather go Skyclave their Yarsharn and then Glasspool mimic the Trawler. It's not like we're killing them here. I guess if they make no blocks, we'll just kill them. They're gonna trade here, so this probably means that they're gonna go for a sweeper next turn. So I guess I don't want to go like all in on committing to the board this turn. So I'll just get another God-Pharaoh's Gift into play. Maybe I was supposed to do that first. How sad am I going to be when you eternalize Champion of Wits and your opponent shrinks it in response? Very sad. What do I think of Cataclysmic Gearhulk for auras? Maybe that's the better card, Simon. I think it's a good suggestion. I'll probably just try out both. My opponent's dead on board unless if they have Pulse, it's actually pretty bad, of course. Guess we had another Refurbish in hand. Wait, I have no creatures in my graveyard? Oh, what a puns. How do I have no creatures in my yard? I thought for sure I did. It's funny. We could have cast Glasspool Mimic and had it enter as a 0/0. And then now it can come back as a 4/4. It's kind of funny. So we could have killed them last turn. We'll see if they have a removal spell here. Okay. Yeah, I think you want to play 4 Mimics. I think that's where I'm at right now. So I want to go down on rights. I think we just want to play 2 in this matchup. I've been cutting the Thirst for Knowledge in every matchup because it is 3 mana, which is tough. Do I even want Disputes? I probably do. Probably want like 2 Disputes. Could trim 1. Meteor Golem is pretty good. Could trim a Skyclave. Skyclave is a good answer to Ooze, though. You know what? I think I'm just going to submit like this. Is Deputy of Detention ever something we've wanted access to? It's an interesting idea. I haven't played... I'm still very early into testing this list. Kind of like the idea. Could just a black-white version of this deck work? Oh, well, tell me, like, what the black card... How the black cards are replacing, like, your looting effects. MTGO should be up in, like, 2 or 3 hours. Guess I put back a gift. Don't really need to. Hand's kind of weak. The temples have felt pretty good too. I like Golem. A decent like Golem has felt pretty good so far to me, and it feels extra good when you have the Glasspool mimics to be able to copy the Golem. I like that a lot. Maybe I was supposed to make black mana there. I'm gonna take the Refurbish though. When you have Glasspool mimic to copy Golem, I do think Golem gets a bit better. Narset's so good against us. Well, I was really hoping we'd find a land. I guess we could still maybe scry into one. We did mill over God-Pharaoh's Gift, which is real nice. We don't have a creature in the yard currently. Am I going to play Champion of the Wits just to discard 2 cards? They took the Refurbish. And if we play Uro, it's just dying to this Nissa. Sorry, if we play Narset, Narset's dying to Nissa. Right. We know what we're drawing next turn. I think we're just going to go to game 3. Yeah, so against Narset, I think we do need these disputes. Just don't know what we want to cut. Go down to 2 Golem, 3 Strategic Planning, play to 2 disputes. Maya tried Miasmic Mummy. I feel like both those cards are not very good. I mean, you can play it. Like, I don't think it's going to be like a deck that just doesn't function. I just don't think it would be a deck that's better than this version. Maybe I'm supposed to play this because now I can't Skyclave next turn, but like I'm not sure what I'm wanting to exile with Skyclave next turn exactly. Yeah, this deck is very much not a 3-color deck. Like we just have the ability to cast the front half of Unburial Rites with pathways. You feel like the Sideboard plan could come up with a plan that revolves around swapping out Rites and maybe some Golems for cards against aggro or control. Well, I think Rites is good against control and aggro is I guess my counter argument. I guess we can discard 1 Skyclave. Maybe discard a Champion of Wits. Yeah. What was that? Sorry, Double D has donated for a mono white Martyr donation league. Thank you for that. I will be doing the donor leagues from this week on Friday. I'm taking this Thursday off for Thanksgiving. So if that's not something you want to have happen, if you can't do this Friday, I can refund you. Just let me know. Would I play Looter Ilkor if it was in the format? Probably, yeah. They take my Skyclave. Yeah, Jay's Friend's Prodigy would be super good in this deck. I definitely double-checked that it wasn't legal. Seems like my opponent's setting up for a Nissa. So we need to set up for, you know, a powerful play next turn. Maybe I'm not supposed to take the draw 2. I think I like it, though. Because I already have the God-Pharaoh's Gift in the graveyard. Well, See what this finds, I guess. Thank you, Double. I actually have Fleet Swallower in my EDH deck. It wasn't very good. It turned on Angel of Glory Rites. Or Angel of Glory's Rise. Yeah. Okay, 2/2 Hydroid Craces. It's like kind of the best case scenario, honestly. They're leaving up 2 mana. So probably for something like a negate. I'm going to discard the rights. I'm going to Glasspool. I'm going to Skyclave the Crasis. We are, you know, we can just cast Dream Trawler. So if we think they have like negate or Dovin's Veto, we can just cast Trawler next turn. There's of course, you know, other things that's kind of cool too. It's not like we have a ton of options though, I suppose. Thought you'd take black mana there to reanimate the golem. Well, we could just the thing is we could reanimate the golem next turn anyways, but I think they have a negate, so I think I'm just gonna cast the Dream Trawler. Cool. That resolves super fast. Can never remember exactly how, like if your opponent just doesn't have a legal target for a spell, if it just passes, or if or exactly how it works. So they're gonna name Even, which kills their. Yeah, it kills. Still keep R2 creatures, kills their lands. Obviously, we would like to have Dream Trawler still in play. But next turn, I think we continue to play around Negate or Dovin's Veto and just hardcast Meteor Golem on Nissa. I might double block this. I don't hate double blocking. Maybe it's kind of bad because I have Glasspool Mimic in my hand. It's fine. And I still think they have negate, so I'm just going to Meteor Golem. Or like a negate-like effect. Yeah, Meteor Golem has just kind of been great so far. And just like it works with Refurbish and Rights and Glasspool Mimic really well. I think it fits just very nice in this list. I think we Eternalize a Champion of Wits. Just play around negates forever. Yeah, it's good. It's a good car and sideboard target. You know, I've won a PTQ with a Meteor Golem in my deck just a couple months ago. I'm gonna keep one black source. Yeah, 7 drops deck. Yeah, Eternalize doesn't cast. It's a bit weird. Makes a token copy. I mean, I really wish that Meteor Golem could destroy lands. It would be much better if it could. I mean, you'd also would play Agent of Treachery if that was legal. All right, let's see if they negate my Narset, I guess. Yeah, they definitely Drenova Horror. Ooh, I like Drenova Horror. I really like Drenova Horror. Maybe Dispute wasn't good here. Whatever. Oh, I don't even. I thought I had a Dream Trawler in my yard. I don't even have a Dream Trawler in my yard. I guess I'm just gonna Champion of Wits then. I'm gonna keep the Dispute up, I suppose, and pass. Yeah, the Dream Trawler got exiled to the Extinction event. I'm glad that you're liking it, Gab. Appreciate it. Always like feedback. This is fine. We can Meteor Golem this Nissa, or this Narset rather. They have another Narset. Well, if they play it, I guess I will Dispute it. Maybe not. They know we have this dispute, so I can't really see them fighting very hard over this. Maybe I was supposed to Narset first. Their life total is also pretty low. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to activate Narset. I should have done this already. Okay, there we go. Okay, just kill them. Yeah, I've been crushing the Sultai decks with this deck, which I'm pretty happy about. Let's try the Platinum Angels in the sideboard. I really like the idea of Platinum Angel in the sideboard to beat the Aura's decks mostly, but you know, could come in some other matchups. Like maybe we find a Goblin deck that's skimping on Artifact Hate for no reason at all. I guess that would never happen. Have we seen the blue-black version in the past?